when members of Jubilee Party, and even us as officers or officials, saw the bad behavior of our members of parliament, and especially the National Assembly and the Senate, we cautioned them on the issue of taking stands, political positions, that are contrary to that taken by Jubilee and by Azimio. We also told them clearly that when motions come to the floor, they should be able to vote as an Azimio block. This was breached during the debate on IEBC. Our members did not understand, or they decided to ignore instructions that we had given to them clearly to ensure that we rejected the IBC amendment law. And the reason is because you now can see it is one of the issues that we have now subjected to the national debate. They thought that we were misguiding them and they voted with UDA. We cautioned them, but shortly thereafter we received petitions. Petitions that were guided by the fact that even our members started attending PGs of UDA, going to State House and partaking in party activities of UDA. Petitions were received here within the party for specific members, and those petitions were referred to the internal dispute resolution mechanism. I have gone to the pains of printing out the charges and even the hearing dates that were fixed. And we have the petition against Kanini Kega here that was sent to us by a petitioner called Robin Muremi Karani. The hearing date for this petition was supposed to be the 1st of February 2023. I want you to note the date. All those, there is one for Adan Duro Fatuma, there's another one for Sabina Wajiro Chege, and there's another one for Kenan Warie Adan. I don't know what Warie means. Warie Adan. These petitions were forwarded to the Internal Dispute Resolution Committee. And the letters communicated to them and even shared in our social media. If you go to your social media history, you will see those letters were shared, and that is still a pending issue before the internal dispute resolution mechanism of the party. On the 2nd of February, these people, of course, they knew this was going to happen because they were already aware of the complaints that has been forwarded to us, and we continue communicating. On the 2nd of February, then they purported to hold a NEC meeting in Nakuru. NEC meeting in Nakuru in a hotel, and we have the footage, the CCTV footage of what was happening there in that hotel. It was attended by many, including those who did not know why they were there. And even confessions from some of the people who were inside there have been made to us, and we will deal with them as we go ahead. They then made resolutions which included, among many other things, changing the leadership of the party by appointing new officials to the NEC. And they then went ahead and communicated their resolutions and decisions to the ORPP. We wrote a letter to the ORPP and notified her of a similar exercise that we had already gotten rid of, that is unprocedural and unconstitutional as per the party's constitution. So we had already alerted her and told her that anything that might be brought to her attention, it is only fair that she subjected to some kind of scrutiny and investigation. She did not do so. She went ahead and wrote a letter to us confirming that she is in receipt of the resolutions of the meeting that was held in Nakuru, and she is happy with the fact that we have been removed from the party. So she was very happy, writing a letter here dated 13th of February, and it was delivered to us. And you can actually see how quickly she wrote, because she did not even address me as the SG. Aliniambia hata ninaona kama alikosea kusema honorable. Karibu aseme Bwana Kioni. Because you can see that tells you a story. When the meeting was going on in Nakuru, I called her with my phone from this office, and she was in Nakuru. I told her, I asked her, have you seen my party people there? No, nimeona wengine hata majina siwajui, lakini nimeona wakipita hapa hapa. I leave it to you to interpret what that means. So we then went to court immediately and challenged that procedure that she had used, and we were given an order, a stay order of her letters and any resolutions that may have been arrived at from Nakuru, because it was we termed it as illegal ourselves, and we still do the same. When you go to court and get interim orders, then you wait for the full hearing to take place so that a judgment can be entered. A judgment was entered yesterday. And in the judgment, a very, very comprehensive judgment, because this forms precedences of other cases that will be before them. Our key thing, our major player, our main player was to get this letter of 13 that was giving legal authority, recognizing officials from Nakuru by the ORPP. This is the letter we challenged in court. And we wanted it nullified by the business, what are they called? Political Parties Dispute Tribunal, not business. I've worked in the business tribunal for a long time. Yesterday, the judgment was entered. And you will get a copy of it, you will go through it, and you will see, when you go to page 39, I think, is it 39? No. You go to page 22, it's 22 on this, is 39 on other fonts. What we wanted was this letter declared null and void, because it is on this letter, on this authority of the office of the Registrar of Political Parties, that those coup protesters were relying on. It is the one that was giving their actions the force of law. And this is what they said in that judgment. Taking into consideration the totality of the foregoing circumstances, we order as follows. A declaration be and is hereby issued that the respondent's letter, that is, the respondent was the ORPP, because we were to court tumepeleka kotini, dated 13th February 2013, is null and void and of no consequential effect. I want to read it again. A declaration be and is hereby issued that the respondent's letter dated 13th of February 2023 is null and void and of no consequential effect. Hii Kisugu imewekwa hapa, hata watu ya CBC wanaelewa. It does not need a legal person to understand what it means. So ulikuwa umekalia hii na imeondolewa. Siwe uko kwa hewa? Bas, sasa watembelee hewa, kwa sababu all the other issues that are contained there are issues that have no effect on this final thing. Now, if you want to know who are the official members, who are the officials of Jubilee Party, as per the 26th of February 2022 NDC, you can go to the Registrar of Political Parties. And again, you'll find that the same names that were there from 26th of February 2022 are the names that are there. The party is intact. I want to tell the members of Jubilee, the followers across this country, that the party is fully functional. If you have an issue with any of us, there is a procedure you should follow. If you think you want to remove the SG, get the party leader to convene a NEC. Then a decision will be made that will then be taken to the NDC. But you cannot call the deputy of a secretary general to convene a NEC and to discuss the secretary general. If you want to remove the party leader, the Secretary General will call the NEC to discuss the conduct of the party leader. Secretary, if a Deputy Secretary General can convene NEC and discuss issues of the party without informing the party leader, without informing the Secretary General, without informing even those other officials you want discussed, can Rigathi, huyu tunaita Gachedhera, can he convene a cabinet meeting today to discuss Ruto or to even discuss policy matters in this country? If we allow that absurdity to happen, then the stability of all institutions will come into question. A deputy cannot purport to act when the substantive holder of the office is alive and capable of carrying out his or her duties. It's not just for Jubilee, but it's for all institutions that want to function as guided by the Mwongozo principles. Having said that also, let me also tell you something else. If you want to have an official presser of the party, it is held in the party offices, which are these ones, at the party headquarters. Not in a hotel or a hideout, because like the one of yesterday was actually a hideout. It was a hideout. I am told it was nyinyi wenyewe wengine mlienda mtatuambia pahali mlienda na mlipitia barabara gani ndio tujue. The convening of that meeting had been done. This is the other thing. They had called that presser a day earlier. Do they want to tell us that they had a discussion with the tribunal and they had unintended, there was a known outcome that they wanted to celebrate? Or was it a scheme from the beginning of how they were going to spin the decisions that were arrived? So that kind of a presser, if you see people holding pressers under the trees huko kwa uongo, waulize vizuri kwa nini wako na uoga ya kuja kwa ofisi. Walipopatiwa hii barua na ORPP, si mliona wakikimbia hapa? Na wakakuja wakasimama hapa na kusema wanaongea. Kwa nini laudi hii hawakukuja? Kwa sababu wanajua ukweli, hawakweli, mambo yao ilikuisha na sasa wako kwa hewa na watapambana na hiyo mambo ya hewa kwa muda. By the way, let them be told, now it is the members of the party and them to deal with them. Hamwezi subua watu miaka yote. Kama umeamua kuhama chama, si uende. Ya nini kuligariga hapa kuleta harufu baya kila wakati? Kama umeamua kwenda UDA na ndio naona ndio kuko faa, enda. Hiyo ni haki yako ya katiba. But let me tell you, you are not going to embarrass Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta because that is their intention.
We cannot allow that.
The thing that they want to do is to remove the party from Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. I'm just somebody who has become stubborn because I've refused many things that they have wanted. And this is the game that is being organized from State House. Yesterday, while we were here at around 3 o'clock, when they were organizing for that pleasure, they had ordered these scarves. Ziko wapi? Kwa sababu waliitisha kutoka pahali jana. But the guy who was told to deliver with a motorbike looked for the offices of Jubilee. And he came here with them in the kagunia. But we told them, sisi hatujaitisha scarves. Now, that is not the funny part of the story. The funny part of the story is this one. The invoice the guy was presenting had the invoice was worth 15 million shillings. 15 million shillings. I do not know who they intend to con because of that kagunia ya scarves. If it was to be the party, then we have saved the party from that invoice by that judgment. And I think if the other thing is this, they have been attending the PG meetings of UDA. UDA from day one have remained very insultive of our party leader, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, to the point where they organized for the raiding of his mother's farm and wakachukua kodoo na wakakata miti. Hii watu wanaweza danganya mtu nani tena ati wako na haja na Jubilee ama wako na haja na party leader wetu. They want to embarrass him and expose him and actually embarrass any person who ever wanted to be a member of this party. We have never had them utter one word, even on the floor of the house, defending our party leader. Hakuna rais mwingine ambaye ametukanwa vile huyo wetu ambao tunampenda ametukanwa. And he is really a statesman. He's kept quiet. He has never uttered a word. Munaingia kwa boma yake, munachukua kodoo, munakula. Naoje nikuambia, wanakula hiyo kodoo, utaona tubu imewaya tupu, tupu, na huko chini tupu. Wataona tu. Those things will happen in a short while. It's also important that I mention this as I maybe conclude. We are also aware some of the former members led by a guy called Heslon, who was our administrative officer here, and working with the UDA, our boy team, is already working in Gachagua's office. So they are managing the mismanagement. They are trying to destabilize Jubilee from the offices of UDA. He is an employee at Gachagua's office, Kule Karen. And you can go and check that fact. Kwa hivyo sisi hatutaki the chairman Nelson Zuva. Maybe you don't know, you need to check. Yeye alikuja ameshikwa mkono namna hii akaletwa kwa chama 2013 hapo akawa chairman wa JAB that time before Jubilee. Aliletwa na William Samoe Ruto. He is from the URP wing, so he must be feeling lonely. And we also want to let him go. Let him quickly go where it is comfortable. Na pahali hakuna hiyo baridi hata endelea kuisikia. Na let me also tell you that because we want to see fairness in the party, we organized for an NDC and we advertised it in the papers. The NDC was to take place on the 24th and 25th of March. They went to court to block our holding of the NDC. Kama kweli wako na ukweli, ya nini wanaogopa umati wa watu? Si waje mbele ya watu, tufanye uchaguzi, tusafishe nini? Chama. The letter that came from the lawyer is here. Dated 6th March 2013. That's the date we received it. It was written on the 3rd of March 2023. And they went ahead and we were told that we cannot hold the NDC because they objected to it. So kama unakataa pahali watu ambao we want to subject ourselves to the NDC so that they can say they have confidence or no confidence, because we are only trying to do what is right. And finally, this team led by this guy about to be sent to Yara. Look at the irony of this. Kanini is enjoying nomination from Jubilee Party. It is on the nomination a letter I wrote to National Assembly that he was given an opportunity to represent us at Yara. He is already a beneficiary of the sweat of those people who fought for the party. He is now gone to the other side to kill what is left for these people. Sabina, who could not even present herself even for an MCA seat in Muranga. We gave her that nomination. She is there on the strength of Jubilee as a member of Azimio. And she goes to the floor to say that she cannot whip for Azimio. Anasema, ye ujiga yake haijafika kiasi ya kwamba wafuatane na Azimio. Of what interest would you want to have her sitting there? But even before we get to removing her, she is already a beneficiary of the sweat of these people, whom she is now trying to destroy by making sure that they have no party.